Good evening, good evening, good evening again, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. Folks, if you are not familiar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, please pull up the description box. You're going to find all the pertinent links to both campaigns. In particular, please note the one from NeuroClastic. It's an article they wrote. They are a non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In this, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center's so called behavior modification program. The JRC felt so threatened by this particular article that they have gone a thread and threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the websites. Folks, NeuroClastic has refused, so please read that article and share it on all your social media. We got the other pertinent blah. All right, sorry, brain dead. Trigger warning when we discuss places like Agape Boarding School for Boys and Judge Rotenberg Educational Center. You're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities and mental health issues being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use the headphones, all right? Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids. For a reason, we use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is advised. Now we're going to get into exactly what I've been talking about here in the other previous bits. ABA taught me that who I am is subhuman, increased anxiety, don't honor my ways of communication, suppressed my stimming, the movements I use to regulate myself, wrote Andy Jordan Carlisle on Twitter. So I want you to understand what he's saying here because I've been saying it previously. When I tell you we're treated as some human, that we're treated as two-dimensional characters in a bad fanfic, that's what I'm talking about here. As a non-speaking autistic child from Manitoba, they were subjected to years of ABA therapy at 30 hours a week, leaving them with PTSD. Folks, I want you to realize that that is just 10 hours short of a full workday. Okay? And they're making Benjamins every single hour that they make that poor kid go through to force him to be something he's not. Carlisle believed neurotypical ABA providers can have good intentions and even compassion. Yet they've witnessed these providers working with both children and adults that have strong armed away important autistic behaviors because of incorrecting attributing intent motivation. How many times have we talked about this on this channel? One of the biggest myths that is pervasive throughout the medical model, in particular with ABA practitioners, is this idea that we are having these behaviors because we want attention or we're trying to manipulate someone. No, we're not. I say what I mean what I say. I'm either extremely literal in what I'm communicating to you, or I'm not. It can't really be both. That is what's so frustrating in dealing with ABA professionals. On one end, they want to talk about our rigidness and our sticking to our guns and, you know, making room for compromises, that sort of thing, right? But they also want to say that we are attention seeking, that we're trying to manipulate. We're not. So when you are operating off of that false premise, then the treatment plan is already wrong. Okay? The greatest problem I see with ABA is it simplifies autism only to its behaviors. Yes! I, to these people, am nothing but a list of symptoms. I am not a person. I'm not a human with human rights and dignity. I am simply a mixture of all the worst autistic tropes known to man, according to these folks. And ABA's job in their mind is to take those out of us. And because they are operating off of the false premise that we are trying to manipulate anyone, the false premise that we're trying to do it to get attention and acceptance from peers, are not operating with real logic here. The last thing I wanted to do as a kid was paint even a larger target on my back than there was already there. Okay? I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just keeping my head down, trying to survive the personal hell of public school. So, addressing something that I'm not even doing and treating something that I'm not doing gets us nowhere. Okay? We're going to go ahead and close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time.